Oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Out of the Shadows, how I wanted to love thee, but it wasn't meant to be. Developer Red Fly Studios borrowed heavily from the Arkham City and Arkham Asylum games. Basically, the entire game was built from the ground up on this really kick-ass combat system. It's got like fighting game special moves, it's got tons of finishers, like really complex combos, etc. But it just never really achieves the greatness that it should, and it's really, really unfortunate. It's got a really unique leveling system too, which I thought was really awesome. Basically, the better you play the game, like for example, let's say you do more complex combinations and stuff, the more experience you get. And the experience can be used not only to enhance basic stats, but it unlocks a whole bunch of different moves, which is pretty awesome. And now you can allocate these points to one turtle or the whole team. And I really, really enjoyed that. I thought that was really unique. I really enjoyed the fact that you could switch from one turtle to another on the fly by just pressing a button on the D-pad, like a direction I mean. It was awesome. I also loved the arcade mode. That was, I think, the highlight of the whole package. Just grab a few friends and go to town. Plays just like the original arcade game back in the day, except with the new and improved combat system. So it's pretty cool. And the voice work and music are also top-notch, and they have a couple of nods to the original film that are pretty cool. But that's about the only good. Then we go into the mixed bag. Visual presentation being the start. While I appreciated what they tried to do, they had like the Nicktoons type of look to the Turtles. There's like comic-inspired cutscenes, but then the actual gameplay takes place with like more realistic graphics. But the thing is, when you mash these things together, they don't really. I don't find they flow together too great. Like it doesn't look that amazing. There's tons of areas in the environment that are highlighted yellow. That's to let you know that you can interact with them. But unfortunately, sometimes those areas just up and disappear on you, or you're left going, yeah, where do I go? So it's great when it works because it lets you know that, you know, like you can flip over such and such a wall or whatever. But when it doesn't work, then you're sort of just left there going, I don't know what the hell to do next. There's a lot of different variety in terms of what you can do in this game. There's not only the arcade mode and the stealth action sort of like I said, Batman-inspired campaign, but you've got training and practice mode and just tons of other things you can do. But it's unfortunate that the extra time wasn't put into the campaign because that's where it needed it the most. Now, as good as the combat system is, and like I said, it's pretty damn awesome and really complex, you don't need to use it at all. Press X 1,000 times and you're pretty much good to go, and that sucks, unfortunately. It also has the worst beginning I have ever seen in any campaign. You play as April O'Neil and you just walk forward, and basically everything that you come to, the game says press A to hop over this, to go in between this, to go under this. It's completely and utterly unnecessary. And not only that, it runs sometimes at 15 frames per second. It looks horrible. I don't know why they decided to start the game off with that, but the rest of the game is much better. The camera system leaves a lot to be desired. You can't invert it, and for a guy like me, oh, that's terrible. But it also has a hard time following the action, which is what you'll see in the video here. And finally, there's lots and lots and lots of bugs. You'll flip over a wall into air and just float there. There's sound issues where the turtles are talking and then the music cuts in and it's like just so much louder than the dialogue. It's just, honestly, it feels like an incomplete game. This should have been so much more, but ultimately it just feels unpolished, and I think Activision just wanted it to be out for the Summer of Arcade that Microsoft puts out every year, and that's a real shame. It should have the developers should have been allowed to polish up the core campaign and the arcade mode and just leave it at that instead of all these extra bells and whistles. And had the combat system actually been required to finish the game, it would have gone a long way. So I'm a little disappointed, as you can tell. For the full written review, hit up projectcoe.com. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.